Hello, welcome to this tropical update. So let's see here some things for the Atlantic, and then at the end of the video we will check the Western Pacific too. So let's see. We have this Invest 94L here. So it says Western Caribbean, Southwestern Gulf of Mexico. AL94, a tropical wave over the central Caribbean, is producing disorganized shower activity while it moves quickly westward at about 25 miles per hour. Environmental conditions could become more conducive for some gradual development in a couple of days while over the Western Caribbean and Southwestern Gulf of Mexico during the weekend. So 10 and 20% chance of development that. And then we have this guy here in the main development region. It's now at 30% chance. So it says a tropical wave was located a few hundred miles of southwest of the Cabo Verde Islands, is producing disorganized showers and thunderstorms. Some slow development of the system is possible during the next several days while it moves generally westward across the central and western tropical Atlantic, 15 to 20 miles per hour. So 0 in the next 48 hours and 30% in the next 7 days. So here we have nothing yet, and here nothing. So let's see here. This disturbance that we currently have here. So these are the showers and storms in the Central Caribbean associated with Invest 94L there. And let's see here the current storm. So this is Invest 94L. We have it here, but what's interesting, there's the low pressure, and here GFS ensembles kind of takes this west. Hurricane models, nothing big yet. And then there's the GPS ensembles that take this like towards Central America and the southwestern Gulf of Mexico there. And then there's the intensity guidance. This was recently updated. Now most of the hurricane models are expecting a tropical storm, so more by around 120 hours or 100 hours in some cases, but keep an eye on that. That might try to become something. So let's see here. First, some general models here. This is the latest GFS. We will talk about the Caribbean first and then that. So let's see. We have the rains in Central America, lots of rain. And then here that system 94L is that patch of rain in the Central Caribbean. It goes slightly west, tries to form a low pressure, but nothing really gets going there, just some more heavy rain. So that's the latest GFS, and for out here, the GFS has this quickly developing there and forming into a tropical storm and hitting like the southern Lesser Antilles there. I think this is a little bit over-exaggerated, as always, with the GFS, but it has this there, and it has a second system behind it tracking the same area, and both ending up in the Caribbean later, and maybe forming again in the Eastern Pacific. But they take this as a massive grain of salt. It's the GFS, as you all know. So let's see. The Euro has the Invest 94L there and all the rain there in Central America, and then it tries to get going, but no big cyclone or nothing, just some more heavy rain there in Central America and other areas in Mexico. And out here it has the tropical wave there, a low pressure trying to get going. This is the 00 from today, and it has almost to a tropical depression, but not quite, and just a strong tropical wave making landfall at the islands. Strong tropical wave, but then it has another tropical wave right behind it, and then nothing else. But this could definitely try to become something. Let's see the 6E. The 6E doesn't go as far out, but we can take a look. We have the tropical wave there, and it tries to form a low pressure and everything, and by the end of this run it's almost to a tropical depression there at the Atlantic. So we gotta watch that. And here for Invest 94L, it has the moisture there going to Central America, curving up there, but no big cyclone or anything. Maybe a low pressure there near the Yucatan, and then in the southwestern Gulf of Mexico maybe, but nothing big. Let's see the Canadian. We have Invest 94L there, and the Canadian's pretty confident. That means this might try to become something. And then lingers there, more heavy rain for Central America by this weekend or something, yes. And then it goes to the southwestern Gulf of Mexico and tries to form something there and hits the same area in Mexico again. And then in the Atlantic, we have the tropical waves there, and then we have this one here. It keeps going, and then the Canadian doesn't really have this as a cyclone. Maybe some days before the landfall there, but he has this as just a disturbance there. But as we keep this going, we get another disturbance there, a little bit stronger by July 3rd, affecting the island, it shows. And then, yeah, and affecting maybe some other areas. And the Neptune has the tropical wave there, like trying to form a low pressure, but no big cyclone or anything, just as a strong tropical wave. And let's see the latest icon. It has Invest 94 there, trying to form something, and more heavy rain for Central America and Mexico, and stuff on the Pacific too, like heavy rain. And down there, it has the tropical wave and everything. Then it gets a little stronger and tries to form a low pressure, but nothing big. Let's see. Here now. So I think this is the Euro prediction system for the ensembles. So let's see what these guys think. So 6 hours. Let's put this to 30 hours until tomorrow. So some members there, some low pressures there. Let's see until 60 hours, until Saturday. Saturday, maybe a blue line there and some there. Still some members there showing like very weak low pressure. Let's put this to 90 hours. This is until Sunday. So until Sunday has already some darker blue lines there, and even a green line hidden there. So this might develop earlier. So let's see. And up, down, and to the west here in the Caribbean, we have lots of dark blue lines, and maybe yeah, I don't think there's any green lines yet, but blue lines there, which will be between 30 and 40 knots, sustained winds. So let's see until 126 hours. So by that time, we have even some members showing like orange and yellow lines there. So there will be like very strong tropical storms. Blue lines like tropical depressions, the dark blue, the light blue is just a disturbance. And let's see, some green lines there too, so definitely pay attention on that. And to the west here we have still some blue lines, and even some green lines showing up going towards Mexico there, and maybe Texas. So you gotta keep watching that. And if we go until 162 hours, wait, we have still some green lines there, and even a yellow line there. A yellow line would be between 50 and 60 knots. And then here we have even some, let's zoom in on this, yes, even some pink and red lines. They'll be like strong hurricanes, those pink and red lines, but don't pay attention on that. It's just crazy members doing crazy stuff. So, but this was the latest run. So we have some orange lines there too, some green lines further south, and even some pink lines entering the Caribbean there. Let's see, if we put this to 192 hours, it has, wait, here, so until 192 hours, it shows some very strong pink lines there. I don't know what these models are doing, but there'll be like strong hurricanes already. more pink lines there, show some yellow lines further south, and even near the ABC Islands, should be careful. Let's see, some orange lines, but don't pay attention to those pink lines, but they are too strong, but definitely we gotta keep watching. Let's see, and the Gulf is kind of the same, and some members take this towards Hispaniola, others curve it north, and others take it into the Caribbean. So if you go to 240 hours until the end of the run, let's see. I don't know why it keeps switching the regions here. So let's see. This is 240 hours. It has still some members there. Some red and orange lines making it all the way to Cuba, and more curving there. So those lines are too strong, I think. But we definitely gotta watch for something. And let's see the GFS on symbols. So let's see, forecast tower 96. So let's put this until Sunday. Until Sunday has some members there, and then some yellow and green lines are right there on the Atlantic. And then to 144 hours until next Tuesday, it has even some orange and yellow lines there by the Caribbean, which would be between 50 and 70 knots. So let's see, still some scared members there showing low pressures and stuff on the Pacific and Central America. And let's see, let's put this to 174 hours. More members there, showing even some red and orange lines. Let's see, let's put this to 240 hours. The GFS has some members curving up north the system, and some entering the Caribbean and going towards Central America, and some curving through the through parts of the Northern Caribbean near Florida and the Bahamas. But take that as a grain of salt. This is just far out probabilities, so don't mind that. Let's put 270 hours. It has, I don't know why everything else vanished. So it has some more probabilities later down there as well. Let's put this to 336 hours, and it shows everything there. It shows more probabilities later, but that's too far out. Let's focus on this here, 150 hours. We have to only pay attention on this now. The rest I showed you is like far out, so don't mind that. We have to pay attention on the Eastern Caribbean islands. If you live there, if you know someone there, start preparing. Nothing certain yet, but there's a high chance we could have a tropical storm or depression affecting those islands there, like next week. So definitely be aware in the Eastern Caribbean. So this is 150 hours until Tuesday. It has already some stuff there. Let's see what else we have here. Nothing. So let's see. This is the current wind shear here. It's better down there where the intertropical convergence zone is, but we have some higher wind shear to the north there. Some good pockets of wind shear in Central America and the Bahamas, but stronger wind shear there in the Central Caribbean. So let's see here some other stuff. Wait. Some wind shear here from the GFS. So it has better, it has some stronger wind shear there still, but it has better wind shear where this might form. So there, and then the storm would be that low pressure there, and it has some nice wind shear there, like nice, I mean not a lot of wind shear favorable for the tropical cyclone, and some stronger to the north there, and then layers is too far out, but we have some good wind shear there. So the Euro here has some stronger wind shear there now, and less further south. And as this storm comes, we'll get less wind shear in the main development region, but still a little bit higher to the north there. Let's see, June 26th, June 27th. And as this might start forming up, there'll be more wind shear around it, but it might actually be able there to develop in that area of less wind shear. So let's see. Here, like the dry air, we still have a lot of dust there coming from Africa and parts of the northern Atlantic, but we have the intertropical convergence zone there with more moisture, but still some dry air to the north. And let's see, that is the tropical wave we should monitor. It tries to form itself there, still some dry air to the north, but it might be able to form there. So let's see. What else we have here? So this outlook here for the Atlantic might be updated today to a 40% or something. So, and we'll make another update tomorrow for that. But let's see some tropical depression probabilities here. So these are the 72 hours probabilities ending Saturday. So for Invest 94L, the euro is picking up some good tropical depression probabilities in the Western Caribbean there. And for this Invest there, it's already picking up some good probabilities there, around 50-60% there. So, and don't mind that's not tropical, but it might bring some rain or two to Atlantic Canada. And let's see, here further out, we still have some good probabilities there by 96 hours, and going to the southwestern Gulf too, those probabilities are like 80% or 70, I think. And then up here in the main development region, we already have some 60% chance there, or higher in some spots. So some pretty good probabilities from the euro. So this is the 144 hours. As this approaches the Caribbean, this is Tuesday, so some probabilities arrive in the Caribbean there, and those oranges I think are 60% probabilities already there in the Atlantic. So some good tropical depression probabilities there. And then there in the Gulf of Mexico, still around 50-60% by next week. So this is the tropical storm probabilities for 264 hours. So this is very far out. It's for 264 hours, but there are some very slight tropical storm probabilities there. So you never know. Let's see, but if we were to get a tropical storm, you'll probably be there in the Eastern Caribbean. So let's see some things here. So this is 120 hours. As this gets closer to the Caribbean, we still have some tropical storm probabilities just offshore of the islands there, and around 30, 40, 50% chance there still. And still some probabilities there it has by next Wednesday. And then later, still have some slight probabilities there in the Central Caribbean, but around 30-40%, nothing big. And later on, by next Saturday, there's still some slight probabilities of tropical depression. So as this moves further out, and this is actually a little bit before, it's 192 hours after the system is already in the Caribbean there. So there's, I finally have the scale here. We can see like 70% probabilities or something. So that orange I showed you before was actually 80% chance probabilities, that orange before. So let's see here, and this is the hurricane probabilities. This is the first time in 2024 we actually have some hurricane probabilities, but it's like 288 hours out. This is very far out, and don't mind this. Take this as a gigantic grain of salt. That we won't have a hurricane probably, and if we have, it will probably curve out there. So, but it's interesting, those probabilities there already. So let's see here some rainfall forecast stuff for the Caribbean, and then we'll check the Western Pacific there. So let's see. So in the next 24 hours, next 3 days. So next 3 days, the models are still picking up on a lot of rainfall for parts of northern Panama, southwestern Costa Rica, and basically all of Costa Rica, Nicaragua too, a lot, especially in the west, southern El Salvador, a little bit more, southern Honduras, and more areas. Belize too, more rain, Guatemala, southern Mexico, and other parts of Mexico there. Cuba, some rain too, some isolated there in the Dominican Republic. Bahamas, some more showers. The next 3 days, maybe some showers in the islands there still. The next 5 days, we will start getting a lot of more rain there from the coming tropical wave. And then we have some more totals here, around 25, 28, 30 millimeters in some areas, for more showers and some storms there. And then by 5 days, we have still some very high totals in Central America, but then we start getting around almost to 200 millimeters in parts of southern Honduras and El Salvador between the next 3 and 5 days. So northwestern Nicaragua too might get more than 100 millimeters. The Pacific Guatemala might get a lot too between the next 3 and 5 days, and before as well. And southern Mexico shows a lot too the next 5 days. Some in the Yucatan, some more in areas of Belize there. And let's see, for Mexico shows some more in those areas there. And let's see here, South America some, for Dominican Republic and Haiti a little bit more, Puerto Rico some more, Cuba some more in some areas, Bahamas, Florida. And if I go to next 10 days, it already shows more there, but that's kind of far out. Let's see, some wind gusts maybe. What is this? Okay, wind gusts. So we have some stronger winds there in the Caribbean because of Invest 94L, affect even some gusty winds parts of Hispaniola and Jamaica too, maybe, but mainly over the ocean there. Some gusty winds continue, and maybe more near the Cayman Islands by Friday, and the Yucatan there by Saturday. So some stronger winds there too by Saturday, and shows stronger winds in the Gulf of Mexico by Sunday there, into Mexico and other areas by Sunday and Monday. And then here by Friday we start getting maybe some gustier winds, Sunday a little bit more, and as this thing comes closer, we will get a lot of stronger winds there by next Monday and Tuesday in the Caribbean, in the Eastern Caribbean. So we gotta keep watching that. And let's see, temperatures still hot in many areas. And let's see here something for Puerto Rico. So they have some excessive heat warnings there and some heat advisories for Puerto Rico, and some hazardous weather outlook. So stay cool in Puerto Rico. It's hot. So let's see, what do they say here? Heat advisory. So let's see. In the heat advisory, they say like, let's see, hot temperatures and high humidity might cause heat illness. Yes, so it's mainly that. Let's see the excessive heat warning. It says impacts heat-related illness. Yeah, but they don't mention the temperature here. Let's see if I can get it here. So during the hottest time of the day, it may get very high into the 20s, and even 30s there in parts of Puerto Rico. And if you join this with the high humidity, it might cause some heat problems. So be aware too in other places as well. So this is mainly it, I think. Let's see this now for the Western Pacific. So we have that area there of investigation near the Philippines. So it's at low chance of development still. So let's see what we might have. So this is the satellite image. Some heavy rains affecting the Philippines, and then the low pressure is right over the Philippines there. And we have some models here. This is the GFS. It takes it kind of out there. It may be getting a little bit stronger in the South China Sea, but nothing certain yet. And it takes towards like China and other areas. So this is the Canadian ensembles. It takes it through the same track and even gets kind of stronger than the GFS. It keeps it through China as a low pressure and through South Korea too, moving further out. So let's see here. Error, sorry. So let's see some models maybe if they have this farming to something. Western Pacific. So the GFS here has the rain there in the Philippines, and then there is, and then it goes to the South China Sea, but it doesn't show anything big, just some more rain for those areas, but no cyclone or nothing. And in the near future, it doesn't show anything else either. Just more storm systems in Japan and China there in the Koreas that we'll talk about tonight in the Asia video. So stay tuned up for that. Let's see the Euro here. So it has the rain there in the Philippines, the low pressure. Then it goes to the South China Sea, but that doesn't really form into anything. And the Canadian here, let's see, it has the rain there in the Philippines, and it already forms a low pressure like going through the Philippines and I see in the South China Sea, maybe affecting some rain in Taiwan and more stuff, but not really anything big, just maybe for the Philippines there. But let's see some rainfall totals here. Let's see. So until July 1st, it has some high totals in parts of the Philippines. Those yellow spots are around like, I think that's like 200 millimeters, 300 or something. The purple areas are around 120, 150 millimeters. Yeah, and more stuff. Let's see the GFS until July 1st. It has less there for the Philippines, just some areas of like 70, 80 millimeters and 90 millimeters in some areas, but nothing big. The Euro until June 30th has a little bit less even, just some areas there around 40, 30 and even 70 millimeters there. And yeah, and the icon here, not really anything big, just some more rain. But here in this map we can see better in the next 5 days. So it shows more rain around 40, 60 millimeters, 44, 36, 63, 57, 55, and more there around the Philippines. So always be careful with heavy rain, and we'll keep tracking this in case this goes towards China or Taiwan later. So I guess this is it for the tropics. Let's just see some stuff here for for the Caribbean again, because we will show you the Euro rainfall, but I want to show you the GFS, what it thinks too. So it also has a lot for Panama, for Costa Rica, especially Western Costa Rica, for Nicaragua a lot too, El Salvador, Guatemala, Yes, some different areas than the Euro, but a lot of rain too. And let's see here, the icon. It has more in the ocean, as it always does, but it has more in southern Mexico, the Pacific or Guatemala, El Salvador, parts of Honduras more too, and Costa Rica and parts of Panama. But yeah, let's see this rainfall map here from the Euro. Shows those heavy rains in Panama and Costa Rica, especially northwestern Panama, and then more rains in other parts of Central America. It shows a little bit heavier for Honduras and El Salvador by Saturday, and then even Nicaragua there by Sunday, still some heavy rains there, and then more scattered in parts of Mexico, Belize, and other areas. But this is it. Stay safe and warn others, and definitely get ready in the Eastern Caribbean in case this forms into something.